So we've had quite a few comments, suggestions. I've even had quite a few coaches tell me that I should be doing a lot better when it comes to DJ jumping. But this opened up a pretty interesting conversation about his box jumps. So before we get too in the weeds about this, I'm going to show you what we're talking about. Can you show them that box jump, please? So this is from a seated setup, which we program quite often in the GBRS performance program. I love the ability to have our feet up off the ground, be dynamic and explosive, reactive. But I'm going to let DJ take it from here with his ultimate athletic presence.
Yeah, he tells me to jump on the box. I should jump on the box. So I just jump on the box. I don't know. I'm able just to jump. Like, it isn't very hard for me to do. And then when you listen to the comments, they're like, why aren't you using your arms? And we were trying to stack up high boxes. Friends like, well, use your arms to generate force. I've never done that before. I'm not classically trained. I'm not a professional athlete. I've never been formally taught on how to jump. I can just jump. And he's like, well, how? Well, skateboarding. Skateboarding's all jumping, everything's with the ollie, but a lot of it is you're not using your arms to create force into the ground to actually achieve the jump. You're using for stability, for balance. So all of my jumps I've ever done have been, because I'm a goofy foot rider, have come from this position. So my hands are down by my sides, and I just jump.
I pride myself in connecting the dots, understanding the nuance, understanding history. I'm gonna be honest, when DJ said it's from skateboarding, it bugged me the rest of the fucking day. Because I was like, how have I never picked up on that nuance? How have I never understood the detail? And I've watched DJ skateboard and ollie, and I've never connected the dots that you don't use your arms at all.
I mean,
well, not from a generating force standpoint. No. And I think you just need to show them.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, you should just stack up some boxes.
Yeah, no, let's go grab a skateboard.
Oh, perfect.
This is unscripted, and DJ has not warmed up for this.
No,
so this
I have not warmed up. I haven't done an ollie.
So we are definitely exploring right now.
Can we do it on the turf?
Do it on the black. Do it on the black. But when I think about jumping, when I think about max expression of force and power, I'm thinking about loading, using my arms to create momentum, that penultimate effect of loading in, exploding out. But like DJ said, he doesn't use his arms when he jumps, when it comes to doing from skateboard. And I never connected those dots, and DJ has skateboarded his entire life. And it brings up a great conversation, because when it comes to working with athletes and clients, their environment that they grew up in, the sport that they played, the society that they lived in, the friends that they had, the activities they did, they play a huge role when it comes into our training. And watching him do something natural, that's very natural for him to jump without using his arms. And then even when I'm cueing him in the one video you posted, I'm telling him to move his arms, and you can see him like.
It doesn't make sense. When I try to load it, like I feel like there's a big delay. Okay, my arms go back, I start to jump, and then I bring my arms for no reason. Like, to me, it doesn't provide any value for me until I just adopt that style, which is kind of what we're trying to do now.
But it opened up a great conversation, because when it comes to the tactical population, when have you ever been able to like run or jump and had your hands just wide open? Because we talk about speed and sprinting, and even when I go work with like SWAT teams or whatnot, I'm talking about like good mechanics when it comes to that, but you have stuff here, you have stuff here, you're holding something more than likely.
Yeah, stuff bouncing,
so
get the rebound of the helmet, everything.
So how does that work?
You kind of just have to get used to it. You got to get used to the gear, and you almost have to time it. Depending on how it's form-fitted to your body, you get this balance. You get a rebound. The plates come up, the plates come down, now your gun's moving, your nods are bouncing inside your eye line. It's a very awkward thing to do, but you just have to try to keep muscle discipline and try to run as fast as you can. You just try to find the best position you can while still being muscle aware. A lot of it's at a high port. But I mean, you're trying to get your arms moving as much as you can, but it's never clean because your sides are bulky. So now you're running this awkward, feels like a Michelin man, a lot of it.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of making it up. From here down, it's pretty normal, but from here you have no really connectedness. Feels awkward. I
watched DJ run out on the range, and he was running, holding the carbine, and his lower body, like you said, if you cut him off in his hips, everything below half looked completely normal. But then everything upper half, it's almost like he's trying to find rotation. So I think the mobility aspect of being able to move your spine and having those tools in your tool belt to be able to do that plays a huge role, because if you don't, and you're like very stiff, or you can't find that, and your hips are doing everything, I think that's where a lot of starts to relocate down into that lower back area, creating tension, stacking, and finding stability. But the skateboard thing just, kind of opened my eyes up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you think about all the other people. I won't even say have bad habits, but they've got some spillover habit from their childhood that gives them either a superhuman ability or it gives them some kind of variation where they can get by with no technique at all because they can do X, Y, and Z. Like if you look at BMX riders, Travis Pastrana, those guys, they are so strong upper body and they're able to generate so much force in their hips and compress it.
Yep.
Because they're able to pull the entire bike up, open up with hip rotation. That's how they get their back wheel off the ground. That's how they bunny hop. And they can generate so much. So when you get them in the gym, I know you train with them.
Yep.
They're strong as shit and they don't look like it.
It is mind-blowing how much force they can create with the limited amount of like muscle tissue that they have, and the amount of tension that they can create over durations of time. Because when they're doing a lap around or motocross, whatnot, like you're holding your breath the entire time. There's tension the entire time, and I was not aware of that. But I think that's one of those things, unless you do it, you have no idea. But I think that's cool with the tactical population, or if you happen to do work with skateboarders, if you don't do it or submerge yourself in it or immerse yourself into it and like learn that aspect, as a coach, I have no idea what I'm coaching. I'm telling him, DJ, use your arms, and he's like you're almost thinking more like, now it turns into a rocking thing and he's not being athletic or being organic or being natural. So it's understanding where your clients and athletes are at, I think is very huge. You know, I swear, I've referenced this. I've talked to like 2 or 3 other coaches and mentioned the skateboarding thing, and both of them said, what? How do they not use their arms? I'm like, watch a skateboarding clip. They don't use their arms. No. And it was just like, oh my God, they don't.
I mean, now it gives me options when I'm older. Now I can work on stuff. Yeah, I mean, to me, it feels weird. It feels like there's a huge delay. But I mean, I've had the same thing when we were training to go to selection. There's a broad jump component we had to do, and everybody want to hit triple digits on a broad jump. And it's like, I see them all and they're warming up and doing all this. I just start from right here. I just drop my head and I just send it, but I can still jump as far as you can with no technique. It's like, but I feel like that's a lot easier for me to do. Like, I can just stand here and clear 9 feet with no real warm up just from that aspect.
It makes me wonder how much the skateboarding thing has propelled you in that career. Like being able to dissociate your upper and lower half and be able to be dynamic with your lower half, not relying on your upper half to create that momentum. It's kind of interesting. Like I wonder how much that helped you because it's very natural now because it's been your whole childhood.
We were talking about last night on a live stream about things you used to do in your childhood that have a spillover effect in your adulthood, and then when you start the monkey bar concept and everything else. And I was like, I was so good at judging distance based off my ability to clear it when I was skateboarding, and that has lasted me this entire time. I've never lost that. I know exactly how far I can jump.
Oh, so like clearing a distance?
So like if we were running through a gap, and everybody who's ever been to Iraq will talk about falling into a creek and falling into a septic tank, and it's because we're trying to clear these big-ass gaps and you can't make them. I know exactly how far I can jump, exactly how far I have to run, and if I can't make it, I won't try it. Right? I'll find another way around. 99 times out of 100, I'm able to make the gap because I know exactly how far I can go. But it's only from the skateboard thing because I've kept with it the entire time. Mm-hmm. Not skateboarding hard, but doing those dynamic activities. We talked about like an O course. Like when's the last time, or how many kids in high school could climb rope 30 feet, tap and come back down? When's the last time you did that? Like when's the last time you jumped on an O course? Like people did it 20 years ago, like, oh, I crushed the O course.
Yeah.
But it is so much different now. Your body doesn't bend that way anymore.
You got a lot more weight.
A lot more weight, yeah.
I think that is an awesome insight because exposure to activities, like DJ said, is very important, not only from your reality of where you're at, but that concept of starting over. Don't be afraid to start over, start from that basic, that foundational component. If realistically, if you are ready to progress fast and you start from the beginning, you are going to get very quick. Yeah. You're not going to spend much time in the basic area where you used to when you first started out. But by skipping those progressions and not knowing where you're at, you are going to leave a space where issues can occur. And then as coaches or trainers, ask questions. If I would have asked that question years ago, I would have had an answer of why he didn't use his arms. So definitely a fault on me, but we're always learning.
I forgive you.
Appreciate you all. Stop DMing me crap about how to be a better coach if you don't understand the context why.
It's my fault. It's my fault.